Heather and Megan, thank you both for joining me today, both as representatives for the Mokena Teachers Association, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and do you want to just introduce yourself and tell us where you teach?
Yes, I'm the co-president of the Mokena Teachers Association, and I'm also a speech-language pathologist at Mokena Elementary School.
Great. And
I'm a fourth grade teacher at Mokena Intermediate, and I'm not on the MTA board, but I'm currently on the board of directors for the IEA.
okay, so talk a little bit about that. I'm not a teacher, so I don't know all the connections, the Illinois, and I noticed, so we're meeting largely because of the endorsement. The Teachers Association endorsed the 4 incumbents that are running, but I did notice it's has the Illinois Education Association. So just maybe explain first how the unions, like how everything filters down to you as teachers in the district.
Well, the IEA is the Illinois Education Association, and they provide support to the local unions. So the Mokena Teachers Association is a teachers union, and they really believe in electing friends of education. So I can read a little statement so that you kind of get an overview of how we do it. So the Mokena Teachers Association believes in working to elect people to school boards, specifically our school board, that will make a difference for quality education. We work to develop procedures for interviewing and recommending candidates. Recommendations are based on the candidate's record of support and performance on public education issues. We consider anyone we recommend to be pro-education candidates, and our recommendations are not determined by partisan politics, and they're considered education party candidates. So the way we have ran it, it's kind of developed through the years, and we can kind of give you a little bit of a history of that. But in this recent recommendation, we have our own team of teachers that is just for this, for our political action committee. And we reach out to all of the candidates, and we send them questions that we're interested in about how they feel about education policy, what the strengths of our school is, what they see as the weaknesses of our school. And then we invite them to a forum. And we held that forum in January, was it? Yes, January 10th, I believe, at Mokena Junior High. So they each came to that, and they were each given 15-minute time slots. So they appeared at different times. We staggered them. So they
Was it December 10th?
Yeah, December 10th. Sorry, thank you.
Okay.
And we stagger them, and then we have moderators, and they have specific questions that all of them get. The last question this year was a little bit geared towards something of a way they answered a certain question. So they had a more personalized question at the end. But it's 15 minutes. They get to kind of explain why they want to be on the board, answer our questions. And then at the end of that, we have a discussion. We invite all of the teachers and educators to come. We also invite our classified staff, our paraprofessionals, our secretaries, everyone that basically works in the school. And then they're able to give us our input, and then we kind of take a vote to see who the top candidates are. And that's how we go about making our recommendation.
Okay. So, and how many questions are the candidates asked in that questionnaire?
The questionnaire was about 8 questions, I would say.
Okay.
And then in the forum, it was, I think, 5.
But yeah, 5 questions.
And did all the candidates participate?
Yes.
They did. Okay.
Yes, they
great.
all participated.
And is that kind of typical? Do you usually get all the candidates that are running that want to be a part of this?
It is a requirement to receive an endorsement that we have to have that kind of interview.
Okay, great. And so you went over the endorsement process, or kind of, but so at the meeting, and then the candidates are allowed to speak for a few minutes, but are teachers asking questions, or are they predetermined questions?
They're predetermined, yes.
Okay.
So no one in the audience is asking questions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's predetermined, and it's just basically 2 moderators, someone who's keeping the time to make it fair.
And what was the time frame you said they had to speak?
2 minutes for each question.
2 minutes for
So it was about what, they were up there about maybe 15 minutes?
I think so.
Yeah.
And all the candidates completed the full questionnaires. And do you know how many of the teachers were involved in this endorsement session?
I don't believe I counted them.
No, we didn't count them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. And then maybe give us kind of an example. What are some of the questions that you would have asked the candidates?
You want to take that? Do you
Oh
remember?
gosh, I don't remember.
Anything maybe you gear it towards?
I think
or-
it was kind of like how they view the school board as a government kind of entity, and how they would be as a board member. Would they, would they look at it as being involved in the classroom, or being involved from afar? What the difference is between how they view the difference between an administrator and a board member. Just kind of seeing how they view it, and and then of course we may be asked a question about something of how they answered a question specifically for that last one. Trying to think of what else. I wish I had them in front of me, but
I don't remember.
But that's basically just to get an understanding. I mean, the first big question is, why are you running for the board? So they, give their input
Sure.
there.
And what do you think the issues are that the teachers think are important in this election?
Well, I mean, I think that we could kind of, this is the second time we really ran a forum. A long time ago, we went into this not wanting to be on the sidelines anymore, because we are the big stakeholders. We're in the classrooms, we're teaching the kids. And, in the history of Mokena, we went through a very dark time in our district where we were having failed referendums, we were in financial distress.
We were losing activities,
Yeah.
extracurricular sports, music,
Yeah.
losing teachers because either they left the district because of where it was headed, or we had cutbacks and we had to lose our teachers. So we had a hard few years
Yeah.
before some of these board members came on.
Right. And so I think we learned from that we really need to be involved each time. I mean, unfortunately, for numerous years between that time and then this time, we haven't had a lot of people running for the school board. We were like, there were years where it's like, okay, is someone going to run for the school board? And
Where
that
they had to find
fill that
someone
spot.
to fill the spot.
Correct. And so we didn't really have to do this. There wasn't really much of a choice. But now in these latter years, we're seeing a lot of people running. And usually they have something in mind, a particular cause of why they're running. So we want to learn about that. And so we thought this is a necessary step. We have had we went to workshops through the IEA.
I went to a training session for grassroots organization, and so that's when I brought it back, the interview process, what we could do.
Yeah, I learned about it that way.
So once you've gone through, and obviously you're sending out mailers like this, and I saw the Facebook page. What other kind of support are you giving to the candidates after they've received your endorsement?
Well, there'll be more mailers.
Signs.
Signs will go
Those are a
out.
big cost that we can provide some support with.
We're going to try to build up. We have a candidate website, that we are going to try to build up and put more information on there about our candidates, so someone can, scan that and learn. It's kind of a work in progress right now, but that will be built up some more. Anything else?
It's almost like we're a little bit of campaign managers.
Yeah, it is.
And do you actually interact with the candidates? Are you able to work? You are.
Oh
Okay.
yes, yeah. We talk to them quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So tell the community, why should we give weight or credit to this endorsement? Why should this be important to homeowners and to residents?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Obviously, property owners want to live in a community where education is valued, because they sell their house one day, they want people look at the school and the district they're moving in. We've had a lot of people move into Mokena because, and I've heard, they've said, we've moved here for the schools. So we want that reputation. We want to continue that reputation. And just talking about, some of the board members, like I mentioned the previous time, the very first time we got involved, Anna Briscoe and Jim Andreessen were the first our 4 candidates to get on the board. They came in 2013, and they were instrumental in bringing things back into our district. They brought back, during that time, we went to half-day kindergarten. They helped to bring back full-day kindergarten. They helped to bring back sports in the gyms, music, all of that we were lacking. I mean,
Smaller class sizes.
Yeah, smaller class sizes. More teachers came back, and some even returned because of our schools. They were
Someone
ripped.
that was riffed went somewhere else. Once we had openings, came back.
Yeah. So that with those two, and then the other two, Eric Bush and Lisa Zielinski, came on 2017, right? Am I right with that? And all 4 of them were instrumental during the global pandemic that we suffered and changed the landscape of education completely. We needed stability, and I really feel like we've had boards before where I haven't felt that stability and where I maybe got anxious going to those board meetings and thinking, what is next, what's coming? But they really have provided that stability. I mean, they were instrumental in getting funding, COVID funding, to help us with technology, because we had to go from the teachers learning how to teach virtually, then going to a hybrid, and then pretty quickly getting back to in-person. They made it a point to have special education students come back before anyone else did in person. When we were teaching virtually, they were coming back into the schools because they knew they need that in-person contact for their learning disabilities. And they provided the PPE, the cleaning, all of that. They really listened to our concerns. They also listened to our concerns about running out of sick days because, at that time we were testing, or someone in your family had COVID and you had to quarantine, and it's a very female-dominated profession, right? So, the moms a lot of times stay home with the kids, and we're losing a lot of days. So they helped to bring COVID days in so that we weren't, having to lose paid sick days that we might have lost because of all of that.
And that was before there was a state mandate that was given, or
Correct.
We had that.
And then I guess with the other area would be they've really kept a stable tax rate in the community. Taxes haven't really gone up, and also we have the lowest tax rate amongst the feeder schools, so that's of an interest to property owners. When you look at Manhattan, Summit Hill, New Lenox, and Frankfurt, we are the lowest. But we also have a very, very quality education. As the postcard says, they have provided us the tools to maintain a quality education and to allow our students to excel. For example, our district ranks in the top 9% of all elementary districts in the state for the percentage of students meeting or exceeding standards in math. And our district ranks in the top 11% out of all elementary districts in the state for percentage of students meeting or exceeding standards in English language arts. So they have proven leadership, proven record. So it was kind of an easy choice because of all that they've done for us.
A big deal right now, and an important thing to me, and I think a lot of people that pay attention, is the superintendent. The new superintendent coming in, the search that went on. How does that play in, or what kind of thought process do the teachers or the union give to that, and the importance of that, and finding a stable, longer-term superintendent?
Well, our last superintendent was with us for about 6 years, right?
Started with the pandemic, right?
Yeah, with the pandemic. So he was
4 years.
Yeah, was it 4? Yeah. Around 4 years. So he was with us for a little while. We were happy that the board brought back Steve Stein, who has a history in our district. So he's helped to provide stability this year with finding someone, and also they have involved us, the board has involved us in that superintendent search. So I was part, as well as other teachers, that got to be part of the interview process. So we were part of that with a number of candidates, and we were able to vote, and that's how they involved us. So
Okay.
it was nice.
Any thoughts on the new superintendent?
I've not met him, so I don't
Okay.
know.
He seems
Yeah.
very nice. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
I haven't-
I
got
hope
to
that
meet
he's
him yet.
in for the long haul.
Yeah.
It'd
Yeah.
be nice to have someone
Yeah.
stick around.
Yeah,
I
yeah. From what I hear, he's very engaged, very excited to come on. He's planning on coming on before his term starts to
Okay.
meet everyone. So I believe there's meet and greets, with the staff that where we're going to each meet him at all the schools. He's going to tour the schools. He wants to learn about us before he actually starts on. Usually they start July 1, I believe, our superintendents. So I think we're going to see a lot of him before the actual start date, which is
Very
good.
Yeah, very good. Good. Well, as I said, so if there's anything else you want to share,
Well, I just hope that we have a good turnout for voting, because I know that with these kinds of elections, not everyone comes out for it. So I hope people get in for early voting or get out there April 1st.
Yeah, I believe it's spring break. So if you can, early vote.
Yeah.
That's important too. If you're able to early vote, that would help too.
yeah, and like you said, the numbers are so low. Like this is